I got rejected hard. And it was a blessing from God above. I got so rejected this weekend. But look at the smile on my face. Baby girl is feeling so much relief because what is truly meant for you will not pass you by. And I am leaning into this more than ever. I am seeing this. I am believing this more and more to be true, to be so, because it is. Not only did I get rejected, but I got redirected, and that's really all it is. After so much pushing and force and striving and hustle and insisting that this one circumstance was going to work out because it just had to, and I needed it. It didn't. Ultimately, things were out of my control. And what I needed to come through and be approved and all the dots to connect, it was truly a house of cards. It crumbled. It didn't work out. And while, yes, in the moment, I was met with so much stress, frustration, and angst, I ultimately, in the 9th hour, in the deciding factor, was met with so much relief. And that right there was the inclination that, you know what? I really don't think this is meant to be. And it is not easy for me to say that because I just pissed away a few $1,000s. And I don't care if I'm in a season of having that cushion or not. I never want to be pissing away money like that. But unfortunately, that's how it went down. Unfortunately, I had my blinders on and just needed something out of fear. I needed a fix. I left home 12 months ago to change my entire life. I stepped out of the comfiest zone you ever did see. Honey girl left home in paradise, her island home in Hawaii, dream job, and I said bye-bye. And so here I am, 12 months later. Definitely smashed some goals, set out, conquered a few things. It's been lovely, so many blessings. I'm super grateful, but am I sitting comfy and reaping the things and the rewards to its entirety? No, not yet, because, oh wait, I'm not done yet. I'm still here. Life keeps going. And it's so funny when we hold ourselves to certain timelines, because inevitably life is going to be there to remind you, like, hey, what do you think you're doing? You know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is stay on the path of what's true for you. You got a vision, you hold it tight, and you allow your story to unfold. You know, it's not about us trying to craft every single what, where, how, why, when, and who. And as soon as we get caught up in these moments of trying to critique and situate our timeline, I feel like it's just then that life comes in and sort of slaps you upside the head and reminds you, like, you know, this isn't your job, this isn't your place. And so I'm sharing this with you because I'm finding so much comic relief in this situation, even though it has, yes, cost me not only a pretty penny, it really wreaked havoc on my mental health, on my sleep, and even on my physical well-being for the last week and a half to 2 weeks. And I do feel that this could have been totally unavoidable. And so I want to share this message about rejection being redirection. You know, I think how many of us can relate to a situation, a relationship, a circumstance, be it professional or personal, or sometime in your life where you were so insistent, where you were so pushing and needing something to work out, something to come through. You continued to fight for yourself in a relationship, even when you knew it wasn't totally aligned, even when you knew that you were settling and you could do better. Still, you were so fearful of allowing something to shift into the unknown. You were so fearful of letting circumstances unravel beyond your control because, God forbid, you didn't know the outcome. And so in those situations, now that you are in hindsight, more often than not, you can look back and realize what a terrible waste of energy and resources it was for you to scramble and force and fight for and push your way through. And here's what it comes back to. Again, what is truly meant for us will not pass us by. And so, these are instances where we are getting caught up in our head. We are so caught up in the monkey mind and the ego. And it's like, if you find that you are forcing and not flowing, that right there is going to be an inclination that you probably need to pause and reevaluate what it is that is unraveling or taking place around you. And as I look back and reflect on just a week ago, I knew this. I felt it. It was requiring so much of me to try and go from point A to point B that I knew if one little thing didn't work out, the entire house of cards would come crumbling down. And sure enough, it did. And here I am. Here I am in relief. Here I am in slight disbelief. And here I am just laughing at the string of events. And may it be a lesson that rejection is redirection. And do we always need to experience some type of rejection or hurt or loss? No, not necessarily. But had we been leaning into alignment, had we been leaning into flow versus force, these circumstances, these instances could have been avoidable. And it is a beautiful experiment, nonetheless, to remind me, such is life. And all we can do is better next time. Yeah. So if you are facing recent rejection, if you are feeling like something is just really uncertain and not in your mind, but truly in your body, truly this sensation of hesitation in your heart, then my dear, I encourage you to find a moment of stillness and go within, because surely you know the answer. Only you know what is meant for you, what is calling you. And if you can truly lean into your inner truth and see how that feels, and if there is a flow, then you follow that. And if you are met with force and resistance and up against so much challenge, then that right there is going to be your answer. And I'm not saying everything's a walk in the park, right? Sometimes there's going to be doors that need to be nudged open, but for the most part, they're already there waiting for us. People, situations in alignment, waiting for us to be met. We just need to stay awake. We just need to keep our hearts open to these infinite opportunities that surely are around us. And so here I am, back to the drawing board, back to the story, back to my story and my why. And I can truly say that now that I've been rejected, and as I'm sitting here 2 days into the week, I'm like, oh yeah, had everything gone through, had I hopped on that flight, had I put myself halfway around the world, I would have been so shook. I would have been so far out of alignment and so far off of the path that I have been building and putting my all into, that ultimately this would have derailed everything that I've been working towards. And unfortunately, I couldn't have seen that in the moment because I was feeling discomfort, because I was feeling fear, and because I was not trusting myself. And not only that, but not trusting the unseen and not allowing myself to lean into my heart, knowing that it's coming. Everything, the story that I'm writing is on its way. It is here. You just can't live in fear.